What's up, y'all? It's Zach.
And it's Ade.
You know what? Wait a minute. Why do we always do me first? What is that about? You never go, hey, y'all, it's Ade. And then I go, it's Zach. Like, we always do it like that. What's up with that?
I don't know if that's true. I feel like I have gone first. I don't know. Because I do the countdown, so I expect that you do the...
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like if we're going to dismantle patriarchy, like, we need to dismantle it at every, you know what I'm saying? Every corner.
I feel like you're just using that as an excuse to not go first.
Maybe it's because I kind of want to. So when I walk around with people, like in with my wife, with women at my job, I open the door, and then I encourage for them to go first. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel like it just doesn't rub me right, because it rubs me wrong, rather, because it's like I feel like I'm walking through the door first. But anyway, it's okay. Listen, y'all, you're listening to.
Has anybody ever held the door for you, Zach?
You know what? My coworkers on my current project, they hold the door open, and it's kind of awkward, and they go, yeah, that's right, Zach, I'm opening the door for you. And we laugh, and then I walk through.
Wonderful. I was about to say I'd open the door for you.
I believe that. I believe you would. I believe you would.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, look, for those of us listening in, you are listening to Zach and Ade on Living Corporate. And today we have more listener letters. What's up?
Sure do.
So it's interesting. It was like, I feel like we've been asking for listener letters, and now they're coming in. Really excited about that. Please continue to send them in. We're going to try to do at least 2 per episode, like episodes that we do this. And we're trying to like churn through them, right? So we can get back to them, so that way y'all know that we're actually responding to y'all's notes, because y'all do be sending them in. And I feel bad. Like, some of these we've been sending on too long. But so I feel bad. So we're going to start actually being a little bit more, I don't want to use the word intentional, right? And getting these back to y'all. So, all right, well, go ahead. This first one I'm looking at, Ade, I'm going to let you go ahead and ride on this one. And I may provide color commentary, but I feel like this is definitely a space that you would probably be better to speak in.
I actually disagree. I think this is one that we should tag team.
Okay.
Primarily because I've never been in this dilemma before, at least. So I don't know that I have the full range of context and experience, but I think it would be good to share this. Anyway, the subject of today's listener letters, it's called Bun in the Oven. All right, let's go. Okay. It goes, hi, Zach and Ade. Thanks so much for this platform. I am dealing with a situation at work, and I'm not certain what to do. I work in a relatively conservative area, and I'm pretty far from home. I've been in my industry for 3 years, and in my current position for 1. I'm used to working 60 to 80-hour weeks at work. I'm not alone in this. Most of my team tends to work long hours, but the pay is great, and it's really rewarding work. Here's my problem. I recently discovered that I am pregnant. I do not have a long-term partner, and I'm concerned about my ability to keep up with the pace at work and how my coworkers might react. What should I do here? Any advice welcome. Thanks again, Leah. All right.
So now, what commentary or insight do you think I could add in this? I'm curious. How do you think I could provide, what value could I add to this conversation as a man? Like, you help me understand. And
I feel as though, as someone who is more senior in their career, you might have more strategic ways of approaching this conversation than I might. You want to take a stab at it?
Okay, yeah. So, it's interesting. I've been in a variety of situations. I work with folks all the time who get pregnant. I think what I've seen, I'm just going to talk about what I've observed that I've seen go well, is people just being really open about kind of what's going on if they are pregnant, utilizing their resources. So they talk to their leads, they talk to HR, they understand and like really explore their benefits. And then they just start making plans and saying, okay, well, look, I'm pregnant, and this is going to be, I'm looking at my benefits so I can go on leave. This is my work plan up till then. Talking, and again, like just kind of being transparent with your leadership about like, hey, because I'm pregnant, my work schedule I need to adjust my work schedule in this way or that way. You talk about the fact that you're used to working 60 to 80 hour weeks. Like, those things may need to shift or change, if possible. But again, I think it's what I've seen is people who are really just open about it. Because the last thing, of course, you want is stress. So the more things you can do to kind of de-stress the situation, the better. And that's what I've seen. That's what I've seen work.
That sounded like a lot. I don't know why you discounted yourself from the conversation, ensuring your knowledge to begin with. Yeah, I just had to fact check you right quick.
Okay.
Anyway. All right. So, Leah, first of all, thank you for writing in. And congratulations on this new journey on which you're about to embark. I think I would say first and foremost that you wrote about a couple of different things here. One, that you're in a conservative area. 2, that you're far from home. 3, that you're working really, really long hours. And 4, that you're kind of doing this alone. And I would say that all the more reason to find your allies and your sponsors and your mentors at work, and disclosing to them as you feel comfortable with the situation you're in. 2, it would be that you don't concern yourself with keeping up with the pace at work. 60 to 80 hour weeks are great when you are not growing a whole other human being inside your body. But those are the circumstances in which you find yourself. So I don't think that it's wise to put the expectation upon yourself that you'll be able to keep up with 60 to 80 hour weeks. That's not even something that people who aren't pregnant want to do at a sustained pace for a very long time. Let alone someone who's literally sharing resources with another human being. Mm-hmm. So don't put that pressure on yourself. Don't put that expectation on yourself. Definitely be realistic with what you can and cannot handle. And like Zach was saying earlier, start figuring out what your work plans are, what your contingencies are, and have honest conversations with your leadership about what it's going to take from now till, baby drop day, for you to continue being fulfilled and content in your career, and also preparing for, again, this new part of your life that you're going to have to deal with. So, Leah, the one thing that did concern me about this letter was that you mentioned that you were concerned about how your coworkers might react. I feel as though that is not something that you should even pop up on your radar. I hope that you feel supported at work, and if you do not, I think that this would be the chief time to get some time on the calendar with your HR person, or with your allies or with your mentors, and get a sense of what it means to split your time, or to start removing some things from your plate. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to say, hey, I do not currently have the capacity for this at this time. And it's only going to my plate is only going to get fuller from henceforth. So how do we manage this in such a way as to ensure that I'm still having a fulfilling career and, not being worked to death? Leah, take care of yourself. Zach, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think the other piece is that you said that you're by yourself, like you're far away from home. So, maybe there's an opportunity. And again, every job is different. I know something that I was told, especially coming into the consulting space, and I don't know if you're consulting or not, but coming into consulting, I think it applies to just jobs in general, but it's like, hey, look, you don't get what you don't ask for. And so I wonder if there's any opportunity for you to work remotely or on things where just for your whole working situation to change. I don't know the context of the role that you have at your job, or how much of that's dependent on you being in the office. But even if a couple months even before you take official leave, for your baby, you could, maybe there's an opportunity for you to work from home. Like there's other things. So I guess kind of going back to what I said at the beginning, which is like just being really transparent with people that you trust, with your leadership, so that you can have a plan. I think that's part of it, is like being like, hey, just ask, like, what options are there for me? I would also network within your business, right? I'm certain that there's other women at your job. Well, let me not say I'm certain. Perhaps there are.
I was about to be like,
are there?
How certain are we?
Are you certain? But there may be other people at your job who have been pregnant and had children and had to navigate. So it's worth like networking and asking around as well. So that would be what I'd add. But no, I think what you said is super spot on. I agree.
And sort of to pick up on that as well, if there are any employee resource groups at your firm, at your company for women, I would certainly look into that. I just realized I didn't even like finish my train of thought with the whole mentors and etc. But also look into what support looks like after you give birth as well. Because again, you're going at this alone. So that means that you're going to have to figure out what childcare looks like. You're going to have to figure out what, see, I don't even have a child, so I don't know.
All the things.
But postpartum care, shoot, I'm ill-equipped for this conversation. But, finding out what it means to be both the career woman and a mom, that's a whole conversation in and of itself, a whole exploration process. And the more resources, the more conversations, and the more people you have around you who are able to support you in that exploration process, who are able to point you at the resources that you need, and who are able to say, look, I don't know, but I'm going to find out for you. That's the environment that you need. That's the support that you need, and I hope that you're going to get that. And if you do not, I am hoping that you're able to find a space in which you can be both. The other thing that I wanted to bring up, I read this post on Fishbowl, and it just occurred to me, I read this post on Fishbowl a couple of weeks ago about this senior consultant who had just given birth, and her team was already emailing her work to do, and she still has 6 weeks of leave left. Don't ever feel pressured to take time away from your baby for your job, because your job will still be there, and should they ever find reason to fire you, and honestly, if you live in a state that doesn't require reason, then you're SOL anyway. So I strongly advocate that when you do take time off work, be present entirely, and let them figure it out, right? No offense, but ABC Corporation will be just fine without you. And you're not going to get the hours and the days and the weeks after you first give birth back, just to feel like yourself again, to bond with this new human, to breathe. You're not going to be able to sleep for a little while, per my sister. So just being able to step into the fullness of that experience. Do not worry about the 60 to 80 hour weeks that are waiting on you, whatever it is that you left behind in your absence, because everybody else is getting paid for that. Like they're getting paid to ensure that there is no lapse in the work that goes on. So I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point for everybody. I think a lot of times we can think that like if we don't do something, the whole world's gonna stop. It's like,
yeah,
it's a big company. Like even if it's not a big company, you're not the CEO. Like there's other people around. They get paid to help and be thoughtful and strategic on how to solve a problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be okay. It's navigable.
Listen, just take the break. It's okay to say, you know what, I am a human being and I have a life outside of this, and I'm not particularly interested in splitting my attention or my time with something that's not this. Like, this is the most important thing to me right now. You can keep the job.
Yeah.
It's okay to say that.
Straight up. It is. Okay. Well, Leah, congratulations as well. I apologize. I did not say that in my little initial response, but congratulations. Congratulations from the Living Corporate fam.
We should have a Living Corporate onesie made.
Listen, yes, I think that's a really cute idea. I question, like, if we're big enough. But I would like to make one. If we get big enough and we start making like baby merch, we have arrived.
Officially made it.
We've made it.
Mama, we made it.
Baby merch, not even just regular people. Baby merch. What? Anyway,
Facts.
One can only dream. The next letter comes from. Oh, here we go. Jamal. Oh. Not hating on Jamal.
Why did you do that? Nope. Now we're gonna have to have a conversation about that.
It's just funny, man. It's tough out here, like, just the way that, internalized depression is set up. Like, I see certain names and I'm like, oh, okay. And it's crazy.
I can't. We're gonna have to unpack that.
We do. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it in an episode about respectability politics, right? Because I'm just laughing at the name. I'm laughing at the name Jamal because it's so stereotypically black. And I love
the context of the conversation that he's trying to have.
And in the context of this conversation he's trying to have. It's just fun. It's just all funny to me. Anyway, so look, Jamal, no hating on your name. My name is Zachary. My mom named me that very strategically. I show up very well on resumes.
You should also say your middle name.
Sinclair. So I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum.
I just also want to say that was the only like American name for a very, very long time. Anytime I ever thought about if I ever have children, what would I name them? That was the only
Zachary?
At least no, Sinclair. That was the only non-Yoruba name that I ever thought of, and it was because of Upton Sinclair.
Sinclair is a dope name, though.
It's a very beautiful name. And then somebody was like, okay, but then they'll nickname your child Sin, and
that's true. Call him Sinny.
Even worse.
I know,
Even
right?
worse.
It's just ridiculous.
Thank you so much for ruining this name for me, Sinclair. All right, let's move forward.
Nah, kids are so mean. Anyway, that's another subject for another time. So, this letter is from Jamal. Subject line: finding the right words. Finding the right words. LC fam. I'm a new hire and my team is very casual. Like, they use slang and do not talk very proper at all. They use more slang than I do outside of work. Maybe I'm old school, but I speak fairly properly at work, to the point where I'm noticing I'm alienating my team. They'll say things like, hey, loosen up. But I really don't know how. But I don't really know how. I didn't even know it was a problem until I got here. What advice would you give me to help me adjust? Thanks, Jamal. Oh, Jamal.
Jamal. Wow. First of all, my apologies I just jumped right into that. Zach, is it all right if I go?
Go ahead.
I am so sorry. I am not laughing at you, Jamal. I am tickled by the situation that you find yourself in. My apologies. I do not mean to be dismissive of the situation in which you find yourself. I am not minimizing your feelings. I simply do find it humorous. Okay, so Jamal, I want to know precisely what is said. I do think that, and we've said this before on this podcast, that, and Jamal, I'm assuming you're black because I've never met a white Jamal. But
if we meet a white Jamal, he's coming on the show. I don't care what he does.
If we meet a white Jamal.
If it is a white Jamal, hey, if you're listening to this and you are white and your name is Jamal, email us and you will be on the show. I have never met a white I've met a white Jerome. I've met a white Terrell.
I have actually met a white Jerome. I used to date a white Jerome.
Wow.
That may have been too much information for this podcast.
No. Oh, no. JJ, do not cut that.
JJ?
Was he a Kappa?
Do me. Oh my God. We can discuss this offline. All right.
I feel like a white Jerome has a cold shimmy.
Can we go?
Go ahead.
All right. Anyway, Jamal, again, I am so sorry. We are acting like plum fools right now. First and foremost, again, thank you for writing in. Secondly, I feel like I need a little bit more context. What is it that makes you feel like you're alienating your team? Like, it's one thing for your team. I just have so many questions. One, I feel like there's a context necessary, right? If you work in an ad agency, the culture, or in a startup, the culture is not going to be as formal as if you worked in a bank. And that is not to say that you need to change the essence of who you are to fit into the context of your team, but I do think that it makes you more noticeable when you don't fit into the context of your team. Now, that said, there are fully ways that you can be who you are at work, not change an iota of who you are at work. See, you got me using... Anyway, not changing the context of who you are, but also making more of an effort to be more accessible to your team members. We've had this conversation before on an old episode where we were saying that people don't trust who they don't know. If you are inaccessible to your team members, it's harder for them to trust you, feel like they know you, go to bat for you in the same way that they would for other members of their team, regardless of how amazing you are. And I don't think that is necessarily fair, because if you are a perfect coworker, you just don't pop up at happy hours with the other coworkers simply because you don't drink. There's no reason why that should have an effect on your career trajectory. I do also think that there are other ways in which you can make people more comfortable with you without necessarily feeling out of place or like you're faking it. I think that you can, if you are a coffee drinker, you could invite people out for coffee, to walk out for an afternoon coffee with you, or coffee, or bring pictures of your family to put up in your workspace, or taking an interest in your coworkers, asking them questions about themselves, so that you can listen to them use their slang, and having a full conversation with them. Because if that is not who you are, I wouldn't fake it. I don't think that you should have to in order to make anybody else comfortable. I do think that there are ways and strategies that you could employ to simply get to know your coworkers, so that it's simply a part of who you are, Jamal, that you say, I would not like to go to breakfast with you, instead of, nah, I'm straight. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense, Zach?
It does make sense. And I do think more context is needed, and I recognize, you're not trying to get into all the details or whatever. But it's a challenge, especially like, and I can really relate to this letter. That's why I was also kind of laughing, was because recently I've been getting feedback that like I'm too, that basically not even too formal, but it's just like, okay, I'm getting lost in what you're saying, right? And so what I have to challenge and I have to question is, okay, how much of this is really me needing to adjust how I speak, because I'm almost 30 years old. And up to this point in my life, I've been told that I'm a good communicator. Like, that's one of my strengths. So how much of this is things I need to change? How much of this is like just personal style and like maybe what you're not used to? And then how much of this is just like you just maybe not being comfortable? Like maybe something about me makes you uncomfortable, and there's like some unconscious biases there, right? Like those are all things that are real. And when I think about being at work and someone telling you to loosen up, it's like, okay, well, if you're communicating and kind of getting the message across, or if you're just saying what it is, and they're still not really hearing you, then talking to someone you trust, right, outside of that team, and being like, hey, look, this is feedback I've gotten. This is what I've been trying to do. You know, what do you think, right? Like getting some outside feedback, I think is going to be really important, because what you don't want to do is feel like you're having to, I think like to Adi's point, like change your entire self. Like you're trying to like rebuild yourself. Like you're enough. Like I imagine that you know how to put words together. So it might just be about making like some small tweaks and adjustments. But at the same time, I think kind of trusting your gut as well and knowing who you are, and then just kind of leaning into that. I think the other point I made, which I really like, is like getting to know people and just kind of like building those relationships, and then letting them see you as comfortable as you are. Let them see you. But yeah, like that's what I would do. And that way, when they talk to you and you say yes, hey, I'd rather not, they don't go, oh, here you go again. Or maybe they do, but they've seen you and they've seen you be consistent, so they know you're not putting on some type of, air. That's my take.
Right. And I do think that it's important that you separate who you are at work from who you are in general. And it's okay to not want there to be an overlap. That's not to say that you have to hide yourself or lie or be unfriendly. And again, that's part of where this context that we're asking for comes in, because it's difficult to tell from this letter whether the issue is that your coworkers don't feel as though they know you, and that it comes out in them saying that you need to loosen up, or that that you are too straight-laced, or if the issue is that you're not a culture fit for whatever reason. And I hate that phrase, culture fit, because it's been used so frequently to exclude people of color. But again, some context is needed here, Jamal. I hope this conversation that we had helped. And if it did not, if you'd like to write in to further explain what's going on, we would love to have you. We'd love to hear some more from you. And if not, we hope that you get more comfortable, whether it is at this job or a next one. It's okay to be like, you know what? I'm going to take me and my suit and tie onto somewhere where we're respected. I think I'm perpetuating that breakup with him.
You are. Something.
I think I've said that about every single letter so far.
You have, and I'm like, okay, I mean, everybody not going to just pack up and leave their job. I mean, people do though. People leave. People find new jobs. I don't think this is what he's talking. I don't feel like this is the answer on this one though.
No, I don't think that it is either.
Oh, okay.
I am saying that it's okay if you feel like you don't want to and you want to just kind of pick up your things and go. The reason I say that is largely because you're a new hire. So I feel as though if they're trying to make you comfortable, singling you out is not the way to do that. And that may not be what they're doing. I fully admit that this letter is a little light on the details, etc. I'm just trying to address the full breadth of the experience that Jamal might be having. Since you're a new hire, it might be that they're trying to explain to you what the culture is without necessarily being the most obvious about it. Because I know for a fact that I've walked into a job in a full suit and the director was wearing jeans.
Yeah, that happened to me recently. Like I came to work and I was wearing like slacks and a blazer, and he was like, "Did you ever wear those slacks again?" Like it's super casual. You know what I'm saying? It was funny.
Right.
And I got mad love for him too. He's fun. He's a nice guy. It was just super funny. And I wore a blazer. He wasn't super happy about the blazer, but the blazer has grown on him. I think he was like, you have to take the slacks off. Like he's like, I'm gonna kind of give you a little bit of a time about the blazer for a couple weeks. and then I'm gonna let you, but you got to wear jeans. And so I got some, got some designer jeans. Anyway, we're on a tangent now. But anyway, I feel you.
So I'm really honestly just trying to address the entire range of experience that might be going on here. It's entirely possible that they're wilding and they need to relax and let you be who you are. It's entirely possible that they are trying to say, hey, you know what? A 3-piece suit is not necessarily the way to go here. And they might also be saying that you're not a culture fit for whatever other reason. Either way, I would like for Jamal to feel comfortable in owning his experiences and in saying that, hey, I'm cool with this, or hey, I'm not cool with this. And either way, your life is yours, your career is yours, and you are able to make whatever decision you feel is necessary for your own growth and comfort.
That's real. That's real. I gotta snap on that.
Thank you, friend.
You're welcome. Something interesting. We're saying these people's real names, and I wonder, should we not? Should we?
You know what?
I need to do this whole thing over. I don't know.
I feel like if they had wanted us to like bleep their names out or give them different names, they'd have said so.
I agree.
But if you do write in, and you prefer, and there are a bunch of Jamals out in the universe, so I don't expect.
There's a lot of Jamals.
You're right. So if you do write in and you'd prefer that we do not say your actual names or the names with which you signed these letters, because these are just the names that signed the letter, so they may have given us fake names in the first place. Plot twist. But if you do prefer that we don't say your names, please let us know that, and we will do our best to find a repository of fake names to substitute.
There we go. I like that. I like that cleanup. Thank you, Ade. It'd be so funny. What if like someone gave a fake name? We go, we don't really, we're not gonna say this name, and then we give a fake name, but the fake name is their actual name. Whoa.
The universe really just needed you to say this with your chest then, because the odds of that.
That's tough. That's tough.
If you write in here, please know that I'm giving all of you Yoruba names.
Straight up. Okay, so all Yoruba names, really?
All of them.
I like that.
I might throw in an Edo name in there or an Igbo name, but cultural competence.
Like Oshioke. That'd be dope.
What? Oh, we're gonna have to coach you too.
I actually know Oshioke. That's why that's so funny to me. Goodness gracious.
It was just the way that you pronounced that.
I know. No, I got to do better. I need to grow. There's some opportunities.
There are way too many Africans in your life.
There's so many Africans. Shout out to all my real Africans out there. But yeah. Okay. Well, look here. It's been okay. How we got about 30 minutes? Okay, not doing too bad. Look, that's 2 listener letters. I feel like let's go ahead. Let's do a favorite thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then let's get on up out of here. How does that sound?
All right, that sounds good.
All right, what's your favorite things? I do have one.
Okay, then you go ahead.
All right, cool. So, my favorite thing is actually this music video by this artist named Russ.
All right, and we're done. Thank you.
Oh, no, you don't like the video?
I'm just being a hater. Go ahead.
Okay, I was about to say, this video was fire. So I opened up the video because I love music. For those who don't know, like my background before I changed my major was music. And so I love music. Like I'm really passionate about it, right? And so I'll listen to really any genre. So anyway, I'm on YouTube like billions of others on this planet. And I open up a video and there's like this beautiful black woman, like very, very dark skin. And I was like, man, this is incredible. And like the lighting was great. Like, cause I'm also really into photography and videography. So I'm looking at the lighting. I'm looking at the way, I'm just looking at like everything, like the color palette. I'm like, wow, these are the prettiest black people, like for it to be just a regular music video. This isn't like Black Panther. This is like just a music video. I was like, wow, the color, the lighting on this skin is so nice. And so anyway, then the music starts playing, and it's like, you know, it's like it's an African song, like it's kind of like African style. You help me, Ade, but it's.
I'm gonna let you flounder for a few seconds.
No, it's fire though. So anyway, then this random dude, I guess his name is Russ. I don't really know. So young people help me out. This random, very like petite white man with very long hair is in like this really.
Did you just call this girl man petite?
I mean, he's only like 5'1". It doesn't matter. He's like, and he looks very out of place. He's wearing like a jersey with like baggy jeans, and like everybody else around him is like Nigerian or Cameroonian, or like they are clearly like African, right? And they're all dancing, and like and they look great, and he looks like super bummy, and the juxtaposition was really interesting. But it was a beautiful song.
You called this man bummy on his own music video? You called him petite and bummy on it?
If you go look at the video, everybody looks so regal, and I like the fact that basically, to me, what I got from that was he was being himself, right? Like, I'm being myself, I'm chilling. He also had some Nigerian cuisine references in his song, talking about mix the jollof with the suya. I said, what? It was crazy. And so I just really enjoyed the video. I really liked the fact that you had like this really, apparently after I did some research on the Wikipedias, fairly popular. On the Wikipedias, he's very popular, and like he really like centered Black identity and experience in the song. And then the guy who sang with him, Davido, how do you say his name out there?
I'm not doing this with you.
He is cold. He snapped on this song. I said, yo, this is a fire song. And so I sent it to Ade. I was like, yo, this is my favorite thing. Like, the next time we talk about favorite things, I'm bringing this up. Yo, I love the video, and it's my favorite.
Do you know what? I completely forgot about that. I had to go, but like I'm literally watching the video right now as you talk about it. I had to go back to the text to go see what this is. I still can't believe you called this grown man petite. Man, but yeah, it's just a little bit.
Listen, like, man, if the extra small fits, like, I'm not trying to be mean. There's nothing wrong with being petite. Everything you can find.
You are
anything.
6'3". Everybody is smaller than you.
I'm 6'2", first of all. But yeah, I wish I was 6'3". Man, that'd be great. I'm like 6'1.5", almost 6'2". If I was like 6'3", what? If I was 6'3" with a beard, that's gonna be my next favorite thing.
Now you're only like 9 inches taller than me instead of 12. Great.
There you go. But no, so why are you hating on the video? Do you not like the video?
I'm not hating on the video, actually. I just hadn't seen it. But I heard a bunch of people like talking about it and how amazing it was. But I hadn't seen it yet, so I'm just kind of like, oh, God, I don't have anything to add to this conversation. And then you started the conversation about this, calling the man petite, and I had to go look.
They got your attention, though, right? See, there you go.
I cannot. Okay.
But what do you think? So you're looking at it like, well, how do you? Is it not dope, or is it not dope?
Well, I haven't actually heard the song accompanying it, but yeah, it looks like a ton of fun.
But don't the people look beautiful?
Like, all my friends would be at. I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah, wait, so, I think I just saw like a gay man in this.
I'm saying, oh, see. No, they're doing it. It's dope.
Okay, all right. Anyway, let's focus. All right.
So that's my favorite thing. So what's your favorite thing?
My favorite thing. So my favorite thing this week is a website called egghead.io. I've been struggling with actually two favorite things because, y'all know how I am. Egghead.io is a website that has a bunch of lessons and tutorials for people who are learning programming, and they're like super short videos, which is great because if you have a short attention span like I do, there's nothing in the world that's worse than signing up for sitting down for a 2-hour long tutorial. It is so painful. And the concepts are still as robust, and you often get to like code along, so it's fun, for me at least. And then the other thing, my other favorite thing, it's the React training course. So I didn't tweet very often about it, but I went to, earlier last week, I got the opportunity to go to React training. It was on hooks specifically, but they essentially took us through the basics of React all the way through this new concept called hooks that uses use context and use effect, etc., which probably makes no sense to you right now, but I only got to go because I emailed the team behind React training, and I just asked them, I was like, I don't have $1,000 to drop on training, but I'd really like to come. And they said, go, come on. And it's one of the things that I love the most about tech and tech spaces. It's that if you ask more often than not, somebody will try to find a way to make sure that you can get it. At least the spaces and the people that I have met have been super generous and awesome with their time and are willing to help you learn and help you succeed. And so for people to just go out of their way to support you simply because you say, hey, I'm a learner and I would like the opportunity to attend this training. What can you do for me? And they go, okay, y'all come on over. Felt really good. And the training was amazing. And I am now using it.
That's super dope.
To build a couple of apps with my friends. So I am, I'm super thankful for the tech community. I'm thankful in particular for Ryan Florence and Michael Jackson. His name is really Michael Jackson. And Daniel Lovell over at
that's what's up.
Lavelle at React Training. Yeah, love those guys.
You said his name is Michael Jackson.
It's really Michael Jackson.
Does that not make you nervous because he might be so bad at his job?
All right, well, guys, you just have to get one in. All right, okay, all right, y'all. It was so awesome.
Goodness.
Thank you for listening.
Oh, you're not even going to do your second favorite thing.
That was my second favorite thing. Oh. My first thing was egghead.io.
Oh, right, you just weaved into the next one. I'm sorry. You're right. Go ahead.
You were so focused on your dad puns that you weren't even paying attention to me.
I was paying attention
you were
to
not
you. Relax.
Practicing your active listening skills, Zachary.
Man, I had some other ones I was going to say. I was like, dang, nah, because I want to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to mess the bag up, the future bag, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me go ahead and not.
I'm tired of you.
Not have a problematic, problematic joke.
Amazing, actually. Thank you.
No, I believe it. Okay. I'm sorry. You were wrapping it up. Go ahead.
I caught Michael Jackson while he was on tour for once. All right. No, that was even worse. That was even worse than anything that you came up with. Okay. Anyway, that's it for us today, guys. Thank you for joining us. Actually, I'm going to stop saying guys. It's not very inclusive.
I'm trying to tell you, we need to relax on all these, you know what I'm saying, gender limiting terms.
You're right. Thanks for joining us, y'all. Next time we will see you. When's the next time we're going to drop an episode, Zach? Do you know?
I mean, next Friday.
Word.
We drop an episode every week, so
I've been using contextual, like weekly contextual language in this episode because I said last week and I didn't know if it was actually going to be last week by the time they hear this.
I got you.
Anyway, y'all, we're living corporate everywhere. We are on your LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you be at, we be at. So come check us out. If you would like for us to read one of your letters, please send us an email on our Gmail. It's Living Corporate Podcast. Oh gosh.
Yo. It is livingcorporatepodcast@gmail.com. You can also DM us on Twitter and Instagram. You don't know, but you're like 71 episodes in. You talking about, or 72. I don't know when this was going to drop. You talking about?
Look.
Goodness gracious. Yes, it's Living Corporate Podcast at Gmail.
I had Living Corporate Pod.
You probably, what you probably did, you was probably thinking about our Twitter.
Yes.
Living Corporate _pod. Yeah.
That's the one. I'm not a terrible person. I'm just tired today, y'all. All right. We are on the World Wide Web
Yep.
at www.living-corporate.com. I got that one right that time.
You did. Good job.
Pats on the back. Pats on the back. Until next time, it's been our day.
It's been Zach. Peace.
Living Corporate is a podcast by Living Corporate LLC. Our logo was designed by David Dawkins. Our theme music was produced by Ken Brown. Additional music production by Antoine Franklin for Musical Elevation. Post-production is handled by Jeremy Jackson. Got a topic suggestion? Email us at livingcorporatepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us online on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and living-corporate.com. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned.